Did you know you can roll down all four windows before you even open the car door just by holding your key fob? We're covering every trick like that in this video. But first, here's something hiding inside your door handle that could save you a $200 locksmith bill. Number 17. The hidden mechanical key inside your key fob. Most people today are so used to pressing a button to unlock their car that they have completely forgotten something important lives inside that little plastic remote. There's a physical backup key tucked inside almost every key fob on the market, and you access it by finding the small release latch or sliding button on the side or back of the fob. Give it a press or a slide, and out comes a real metal key. Now, here's the part that catches people off guard. Your car door also has a physical lock hidden on it, usually concealed behind a small removable plastic cover on the door handle. The reason this matters so much is simple. Key fob batteries die at the absolute worst possible moments. Stranded at midnight in a parking lot with a dead fob is not the time to be discovering this feature for the first time. A locksmith call in that situation can run you $200 or more, and the whole thing is completely avoidable. Take 30 seconds right now and pop that backup key out of your fob just to see it. You will feel much better knowing it is there. Number 16. The traction control button, and when you actually need to turn it off. That button on your dashboard with the little car and the squiggly lines underneath it is one of the most misunderstood controls in the entire vehicle. Traction control is genuinely brilliant technology when it is doing its job properly. It monitors wheel spin, reduces engine power when it detects slipping, and applies braking force to individual wheels to keep you stable on wet roads, icy surfaces, or loose gravel. However, and this is the part my grandfather always stressed, there are situations where leaving traction control on will actually make your life harder. If you are buried in deep snow or stuck axle deep in mud, the system will keep cutting your engine power every time your wheels try to spin, which is exactly the opposite of what you need. You need that wheel spin to bite into the surface and pull you free. One press of that button disables the system temporarily, letting your wheels do their thing. Just make sure you turn it back on once you are free and back on solid pavement. Most drivers spend their whole lives never once touching this button, and that is a mistake when conditions call for a different approach. Number 15. How to silence that lane departure warning permanently. If you have a newer car, there is a solid chance you have experienced that obnoxious beeping and vibrating that kicks in every single time you drift even slightly toward a lane line. The system was designed with good intentions, but it often goes completely overboard, triggering warnings when you are making perfectly reasonable lane changes, avoiding road debris, or navigating a curve. The good news is, there is almost always a way to turn it off. Look on your steering wheel for a button that shows a small car icon sitting between two dotted lane lines. Press and hold that button, and you can adjust or fully disable how aggressively the system responds. Some vehicles require you to dig into the infotainment settings menu rather than using a physical button, but either way, the option is almost certainly there. You can usually dial in exactly how sensitive you want the system to be or shut it down entirely. Knowing this trick transforms a frustrating daily annoyance into something you actually have control over. Number 14. The air recirculation button is way more powerful than you think. Most drivers see that little button on the climate control panel showing a car with a circular arrow inside it and assume it just means the air goes around in circles. The real function is significantly more useful than that. When you press that button, your car stops pulling air from outside and instead reuses the air already inside the cabin. That creates a genuine barrier against exhaust fumes from trucks ahead of you, smoke, agricultural smells on rural roads, and general outdoor pollution. But here is what almost nobody realizes. Running your AC in recirculation mode can actually boost your air conditioning efficiency by a meaningful amount in hot weather, because the system is cooling air that is already partially cooled rather than constantly pulling in scorching outside air. That means your cabin gets cold faster, and the system works less hard to maintain the temperature. The side benefit of this is that your cabin air filter gets less clogged with outside particles, which can extend the life of that filter and push back your next service visit. Use this feature every time you are in heavy traffic or driving behind anything that is putting out fumes. Number 13. The steering wheel adjustment lever hiding under your column. An enormous number of drivers sit in an uncomfortable position every single day without ever realizing there is a dead simple fix literally inches away from them. Underneath your steering column, there is almost certainly a small lever or handle. When you pull or push that lever, you can move your steering wheel up, down, toward you, or away from you, depending on what your car allows. Some vehicles only offer tilt adjustment, while others include full telescopic reach adjustment. Here's why this genuinely matters beyond just comfort. When your steering wheel is correctly positioned for your body, you have better mechanical control of the vehicle. Your airbag is properly aligned to protect you in a crash, and you can read your dashboard gauges without leaning or straining. The correct position should keep your arms with a slight bend at the elbows when you grip the wheel at the standard positions. Studies have shown that a surprisingly large percentage of drivers never adjust their steering wheel from whatever position it was in when they first got the car. If you have never touched that lever, try it today. Adjust the wheel to fit your actual body, and your driving will feel completely different. Number 12. The extendable panel hiding inside your sun visor. You flip down your sun visor to block the afternoon sun, and it helps, but there is almost always a gap at the side where the light still sneaks through and hits you right in the eyes at the worst angle. Car designers knew this was a problem, and many of them built a solution right into the visor itself. On a lot of vehicles, there is a sliding extension panel tucked inside the visor. You pull it out sideways, and it covers that gap, blocking the angled light that the main visor panel misses. Check the lower edge or the side of your visor and see if there is a hidden panel that slides out. This is one of those features that never seems to make it into the owner handbooks, and most drivers with cars that have it never find it on their own. Driving into a low sunrise or sunset is one of the most genuinely dangerous visibility situations you can face, and having this extra panel deployed makes a real difference in keeping your eyes comfortable and your attention on the road. Number 11. The hazard button has emergency functions. Most drivers never know exist. When someone flashes their hazard lights twice as a quick thank you after you let them merge, that is a driving courtesy that has been around for years. But the hazard button itself has functions beyond that simple acknowledgement that most people have zero awareness of. On many modern vehicles, pressing and holding the hazard button for an extended period activates a more urgent emergency flashing pattern specifically designed to communicate serious distress to other drivers, not just the standard pulled over signal. Some vehicles, particularly from European luxury brands, have programmed the hazard button to trigger maximum brightness across all exterior lights when held down, making the car dramatically more visible in emergency roadside situations. The exact behavior varies by make and model, but the point is that this button often does more than its one simple job. Pull out your owner manual and look up what your specific hazard button is capable of. It might be considerably smarter and more useful than you have been giving it credit for. Number 10. The tiny arrow next to the fuel gauge tells you which side your gas cap is on. This one has been sitting in plain sight on the dashboards of cars since the 1990s, and a remarkable number of drivers still do not know it exists. Look at your fuel gauge, and you will see the little icon of a gas pump. Right next to that pump icon, there is a small arrow pointing either left or right. That arrow is telling you exactly which side of your car the fuel cap is located on. Every time. No more pulling into a gas station in an unfamiliar car and doing the awkward lean out the window trying to figure out which side to pull up on. This is incredibly useful when you are driving a rental car, borrowing a friend's vehicle, or jumping into a company car for the first time. The feature is so straightforward it almost seems too obvious to mention, and yet a massive portion of drivers have no idea it is there. Take a look at your own dashboard right now. That little arrow has been trying to help you all along. Number 9. The tiny hook inside your gas door is there for a very specific reason. The next time you stop to fill up, open your fuel door and take a look at the inside of it. There is almost certainly a small hook, notch, or loop built into that door. That feature is there specifically to hold your fuel cap while you are pumping gas. This sounds minor until you understand what happens when people skip this step. Setting your fuel cap on the roof of your car, resting it on top of the pump, or letting it dangle by its tether where it can pick up grime introduces dirt directly into your fuel system when you screw it back on. Over time, that contamination can clog your fuel injectors and eventually damage your fuel pump, leading to repairs that can run into thousands of dollars. Gas station attendants see people make this mistake constantly, every single day. The hook is on virtually every car with a fuel door, and the vast majority of drivers never use it. 2 extra seconds to hang your cap on that hook could genuinely protect your engine over the long term. Number 8. Your key fob can roll down all your windows before you even get in the car. Summer driving has a particular misery to it when you open your car door after it has been sitting in direct sunlight and a wave of trapped heat that feels like it is around 140 degrees rolls over you. Here's the trick that changes everything. On many vehicles, holding the unlock button on your key fob for a few seconds will automatically roll all the windows down. Some cars require you to press unlock twice quickly and then hold it on the second press, and some may require you to enable the feature through a settings menu first. When you activate this before you walk up to the car, all that superheated air inside the cabin has somewhere to go. By the time you actually open the door and sit down, the interior temperature has dropped significantly because the hot air has escaped and been replaced by outside air. This was originally developed for markets where cars routinely sit in intense, direct sunlight for extended periods, but manufacturers included it quietly in vehicles sold everywhere. Check your owner manual to confirm whether your car supports it and exactly how to trigger it, because the method varies enough between automakers that it is worth verifying the specific steps for your vehicle. Number 7. The shift lock override button next to your gear shifter can save you in a dead battery emergency. Picture this situation. Your battery dies completely while your car is in park in the middle of an intersection or blocking a lane, and you need to get the car moved immediately. In a car with an automatic transmission, you cannot shift out of park without electrical power running through the shifter interlock system. Or at least, that is what most people believe. Somewhere near your gear shifter, usually beneath a small plastic cover that you can pop off with your car key or a small flathead screwdriver, there is a manual shift lock override. Press the button you find underneath and you can shift into neutral with zero electrical power required. The entire mechanism is purely mechanical, which means it works regardless of what state your electronics are in. This feature was made mandatory in vehicles after incidents where dead cars were stranded in traffic lanes and could not be moved. The location varies by make and model, so it is worth locating yours before you ever need it, but it is almost always within a few inches of the shifter itself. Knowing this exists puts you in control of a situation that leaves most drivers completely helpless. Number 6. The small tab under your rearview mirror is an anti-glare switch. Night driving behind you is bright, and if you have ever had headlights from a following car blazing directly into your rearview mirror at close range, you know how distracting and genuinely dangerous that glare can be. The fix has been built into rearview mirrors for decades, and it is the small tab or lever located at the bottom edge of the mirror. Flick that tab and the mirror shifts to a night position that scatters the reflected light upward toward the ceiling of the car rather than straight into your eyes. The engineering behind this is elegant and simple. The mirror actually has 2 reflecting surfaces positioned at slightly different angles. The standard position uses the brighter, more accurate surface for daytime driving. Flick the tab and you shift to the secondary surface, which dramatically reduces the intensity of reflected light. You can still see the cars behind you well enough to monitor traffic safely, but the blinding quality of the glare is eliminated. Some research suggests that a significant percentage of older drivers avoid driving at night at all because of headlight glare issues, despite this simple solution being built right into the mirror they use every single day. Number 5. The snowflake symbol on your dashboard is an active road safety warning system. That tiny snowflake icon that appears on your instrument cluster when temperatures drop is not decorative, and it is not just telling you the weather is cold in a general sense. Your car has an external temperature sensor monitoring the air outside, and when that temperature gets close to freezing, the snowflake symbol activates to warn you that road surfaces may be approaching icy conditions. Some newer vehicles take this further by changing the warning color from yellow to red as temperatures drop into the more dangerous ranges, and by incorporating humidity data to calculate more precisely when ice formation is likely on the road surface ahead. The system is particularly designed to flag conditions where black ice might be forming, which is the most dangerous scenario because it is completely invisible to the driver. According to federal road safety data, tens of thousands of crashes happen every year in icy conditions. Your dashboard has been trying to give you advance notice this whole time. When that snowflake lights up, slow down and increase your following distance before you need to. Number 4. There is a glow-in-the-dark escape handle inside your trunk. This one is genuinely important and not enough people know it exists. If a person ends up trapped inside a car trunk, whether a child who climbed in while playing or an adult caught in an emergency situation, every modern passenger vehicle sold in the United States has been required by law since 2002 to include an internal trunk release handle. This handle is typically colored bright yellow or green and is made from a material that stores light and glows for hours in complete darkness, making it locatable even in a completely dark trunk when someone is panicking and unable to think clearly. One firm pull on that handle mechanically releases the trunk latch and allows the person inside to get out without any tools or outside assistance. The location varies by vehicle, but it is always accessible from inside the trunk. Every adult in your household should know this feature exists, and it is worth checking your specific vehicle to know exactly where the handle is located and pointing it out to any children who might ride in your car. Number 3. Your car probably has hidden storage compartments that thieves would never think to search. While a lot of drivers complain about not having enough storage space, many of them are sitting directly on top of hidden compartments they have never discovered. This is particularly common in SUVs, minivans, and trucks, where manufacturers have engineered concealed storage spaces under seat platforms, beneath removable floor panels, and inside rear armrests. Some of these compartments are remarkably well hidden, with no obvious seams or handles visible until you know exactly where to look and how to open them. Various manufacturers have incorporated these spaces specifically because drivers wanted somewhere to stash valuables out of sight when parking in public. A laptop bag or camera equipment sitting on a back seat is an invitation for a smash and grab theft. Those same items tucked into a factory hidden compartment are essentially invisible to anyone looking through your windows. Check your owner manual under storage or look at your floor panels and seat bases carefully. You might discover usable space you have owned for years without knowing about. Number 2. Speed-sensitive volume control is already adjusting your audio without you realizing it. Have you ever noticed that your car stereo seems louder on the highway than it did when you were driving through a neighborhood, even though you never touched the volume? That is almost certainly not your imagination. Many vehicles come equipped with a feature called speed-sensitive volume control, sometimes listed in menus as SVC or automatic volume. The way it works is that the car uses a combination of vehicle speed data and sometimes a cabin microphone to monitor how much background noise is present in the interior. As you accelerate and wind, noise, road noise, and engine noise all increase. The system quietly boosts your audio output to compensate. When you decelerate and the background noise drops, it brings the volume back down so you are not suddenly blasted with sound at a red light. This feature is genuinely useful for safety because it eliminates the constant need to manually adjust your volume based on conditions, which means fewer distractions while driving. If your volume seems to behave mysteriously, check your audio settings for this feature. Many owners accidentally disable it or do not realize it needs to be turned on. Number 1. Your car can lock itself automatically when you walk away from it. You have walked away from your parked car 100 times and stopped halfway to the door of wherever you are going to wonder whether you actually locked it. That moment of doubt sends a surprising number of people all the way back to the car to physically check. Many modern vehicles have a feature built into their proximity sensor system that can eliminate this completely. When your key fob travels beyond a preset distance threshold from the vehicle, the car automatically locks all the doors without you pressing anything. Some versions of this feature let you configure a delay window of 30 seconds or a minute so you have time to run back and grab something you forgot before the locks engage. Some systems even give you a visual or audible confirmation so you know the car is secured without looking back. Enabling this typically requires a few steps in your car settings menu, and many owners who have the capability have never turned it on because they simply have not explored those menus. Check your manual under locking, security, or comfort features, and see whether your car supports automatic walkaway locking, because that peace of mind might have been sitting dormant in your settings this entire time. If your car just got a whole lot more interesting, drop a comment telling me which of these tricks you had absolutely no idea existed.